Alright, so we're over here at these storage units, and I have some Mustang parts that have been thrown over here, and that's just how it's been with me. Oh, I'm never going to own a 2-valve again, and I put a lot of stuff away, or I gave a lot of stuff away, and then I got my GT back. And thinking, well, I'm probably never going to have a 94 to 98 with brown interior, and now I have this Cobra. So that's how it goes with parts. You usually end up giving them away right before you need them again, but we're just going to dig through here and see if we can find anything that's of any use. It's been so long I don't even know what's in here anymore. Well, Mach 460 tray here. There's a starter. And a lot of this is other family stuff too that's been shared, so I'm gonna have to do some digging and see what we can come up with. In fact, a lot of it looks like it's been cleaned out. So there's that H pipe, catted stock H pipe. I see control arms over here with a sway bar with a solid rear that I have, but maybe I'll have a a bad bushing or something on one of the control arms and need that, so you just never know. But right here in these totes, this is usually where I'd keep stuff. Let's see if this happens to be. Yeah, looks like somebody reused the tote for other stuff. Well, anyway, I'll dig around and see if there's even anything left here. Maybe it's all been given away and I don't even remember. Okay, it looks like I found a tote here that has some gray pieces, my Mach 1 factory intake. I'm going to want to take that home anyway, just so I don't ever lose it. It had all the original hardware. So there's some things that I'll take. Not really what I was looking for today, but there's some pieces. Some used catalytic converters. That's not really going to be helping me any. But, man, I thought I had some coil packs or ignition leads or something, but who knows, maybe I gave it all away with the roller 97 GT that I had. Found a few more things here. Another tote, A-pillar, trim, brake thing, tensioner, fog light switch. That's the same era. I was looking for this because dome light's not working right now. Maybe it's just wiring, but that crossed my mind that I had one of those. Shift linkage. Same color here, so some parts maybe I won't even need them. Mine's a 98, so it doesn't have the clock. There's an extra clock. Okay, a little turn stock, a little light switch. Okay, well, there's a few more parts. A little lock unlock switch that was in our last video, so you can see that these are useful to have. Okay, we're back home now. Fuel rails, throttle bodies, stuff that we don't really need. This is nice though. This will be really good because the passenger side one is actually cracked, so that's going to be nice. I'll swap that one out. The rest of this stuff is just little odds and ends, but shifter. Don't think I can really need that. Mirror's nice. But anyway, we'll see what we can scrounge up here. Okay, it looks like I also have a dust shield there, inner trim piece, some Mach speakers. These are regular ones if they don't have the Z on the back of them. Got a computer here for automatic. Yeah. What else we got here? So there's this is what used to hold the coil pack. I'm surprised I don't have the actual coil packs. I think I had somebody with a 97 that actually needed them at one point. I probably gave them away. But yeah, you want to find that Z on the back of these for them to be the Mach 6x9s. They're a little different. They're actually more of a subwoofer than anything. So if you just buy replacement speakers, they're not going to hit the same. But yeah, looks like I got some taillight harnesses and a crank pulley dampener. Doesn't look like there's really that much that I'm going to use. Yeah, it's just wiring. So, anyway. Okay, so on the 94 to 98 body style and previously, on the side of the transmission here, towards the back, there's an actual speed sensor, and that's how the speedometer works and everything. And so if you change gear ratios or whatnot, you take this out and switch it, where on the newer 99 Plus it's all electronic, so you can change that in a tuner. This one, there's an actual gear here that you swap out. And so I was just looking at this, making sure that the connections are okay. I'll clean it out here and plug it back in, just because our speedometer isn't working at all. And we're trying to figure out if that's because of the sensor here, wiring, or something like that, or if it's actually something broken in the cluster. So anyway, just looking at that real quick, and I'll clean that up. Okay, so I cleaned it out with some electric switch cleaner and then some compressed air just to make sure it was cleaned out real good. So just blasted inside that sensor and on the connector plug-in, and so we'll see if that helps out. Okay, so this car does have flow masters on it. However, one of them has a huge gaping hole in it. So yeah. Must have ran over a rock or something, because I don't see a lot of rust or anything. And one thing I am very happy about is how straight and clean the bottom of this car is. No rust, and not really abused on the pinch welds or anything from lifting. So pretty good under here for the most part. Transmission looks pretty clean. So anyway, not too bad. Okay, so I'm curious to see if that cleaning that gear fixed the speedometer, and the back wheels are in the air. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. Nope. We're in gear and tires are running, and speedometer's still not working. Next up, I'm going to swap out the old fuel filter for one that I have, a new Motorcraft one. Okay, so in the trunk we have the inertia switch here. I just hit it with the side of my screwdriver and it popped up. And so that's what relieves fuel pressure. If you get in an accident, it pops and then cuts the fuel flow. Okay, you can also unplug that module if you want. It does the same thing, but it's popped. Now we're going to start the car. Can take a minute, but eventually it'll run out of fuel, just like that. Perfect. So we've purged the line pretty good. Okay, so under here, this is where the fuel filter is located, and I have a video link I'll put in the description of my full fuel filter swap out, but it's pretty simple. We're just kind of coming in here and popping these clamps off. There's going to be one on each side here. We have to get to, it's going to be a little bit behind that line, but we're just going to pop these clamps off, put our disconnect tool into here, and then pop the lines off of each side. I already loosened this band, and then soon we'll just be able to slide the filter out and put a new one in. Okay, we just put our fuel disconnect line in here. It just goes over the line, and then you squeeze it together and push in. It'll compress a spring on that inside that allows you to once we push it in, pull the line off of the filter. Make sure that you are wearing your safety glasses. Even if you look really dorky like me, it's better than getting fuel in your eyes. Okay, now with these, they do indicate the flow, which direction it's going. If you get confused, just remember it has to be coming from the tank to the engine. So, for example, under here we have lines that are coming from the fuel tank. That's this one right here. Okay, and so the flow better be pointing that way as it makes its way to the engine. So we're going to go ahead and just pop our new one in now. Okay, so we're hooked up with our new Ford Motorcraft one. That other one said made in China. Who knows, maybe they're both made in China. But anyway, so we're back together here. We got our clips back on, we got our band back on. These clicked right back on how they should have. So we're going to go ahead and start it up and make sure it works. And of course, to do that, we are, we're going to have to pop our inertia switch back down. So very simple on that. I'm just going to push the button. Get in here. Okay, so we're down. So now the car should start right back up. Now it might take a minute since there's no fuel pressure. It might take a few cranks, maybe not. There we go. Good. All right, looking good, no leaks. One of the viewers asked why more of the condensation was coming out of the driver's side on the rev video, the second video of this car I posted. That's why it's dumping right here on the passenger side. You can feel it. Now, something I mentioned in my fuel pump install video, which I'll put a link in the description, is these gaskets tear pretty bad if you're removing the filler neck. And this car is dumping fuel, you know, horribly, and you can see it's torn right here, and that's why. So I'm gonna have to pretty much drop the tank a little bit to pull that out and get the new gasket on. So it leads me to believe somebody was in the tank doing something, maybe a new fuel pump, and yeah, we'll see. Okay, so I went ahead and just dropped the tank down, and once again I have a full video with all the steps you need to do for this. I'll put it in the description. I just need to get this filler neck tube where you put the gas in to pop out, and as you can see, this is torn pretty good, and that's why it's dumping fuel whenever we take a turn, or even when we filled it up. It was overflowing, so I'm going to be very careful to get this out without it falling into the tank, so I'll do that off camera, but we'll just basically put our new one back in its place. Okay, so just prying this new one in, and it does take a little persuasion. You just have to be careful not to tear it. But yeah, it is kind of a tight fit, so you might need a screwdriver to work it in there. Sorry if you can't see it. Might need a screwdriver to work it in there. Just be careful not to tear it. You're basically pinching it together to get it in there, and then gently use a screwdriver to go around it and get it into that hole. Okay guys, now as I've been working on this, you know, I had my jack as I needed here, one on the other side, and then I left the other floor jack under there too. I just want to say, you know, be as safe as you can. Leave jacks, you know, supporting the car even if you don't need them. It's better to have it safe than for you to accidentally knock something down and kill yourself or really hurt yourself. So anyway, just take the time to put the jack stands and jacks where they need to be.